This week, the NBA released, Rob, its all NBA teams. And Jalen Brunson was on the second team. Now, obviously, he had a great year this season for the Knicks. A lot of people talking about he should have, that he did emerge and become a superstar. You and I both disagreed with that. He's a star, certainly. But we said not a superstar. Here's the first team All-NBA, Rob, and then I'll read the second team. First team, all right. Guards. Now, it's positionless, but it did work out to basically 2 guards and 3 front court players. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Luka Doncic, the guards. And then Jason Tatum, Nikola Jokic, and Giannis Antetokounmpo round out the first team. Second team, Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards. Then Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and Anthony Davis on the second team. Just to round it out, we'll give you the third team. Devin Booker, Steph Curry, Tyrese Halliburton, LeBron James, and Domantas Sabonis. Rob, first of all, do you have any problem? Now, remember, Jalen Brunson did finish in the top 5 MVP voting. Jason Tatum was not in the top 5. But do you have any problem with Jalen Brunson not being first team?
No, I don't. Not with the people who were selected. I don't. And obviously, people will look at his postseason run, Chris, and say, oh, yeah, he took another step. And that could all be true. But when you're looking at first team.
And the votes are in before that, too.
Before the postseason starts. So that's a big factor. If obviously, whatever you see last, Chris, would change your opinion of somebody, right? If they were playing well. So that's why it doesn't factor in.
I don't know Stephen A., to your point, he said today on First Take, he has an official vote like I do. He said he voted for Brunson second team, but now looking at it, he thinks he should have been first. I assume it's because of what you said.
About what the last you saw of him, right? But he's not first. Who are you knocking off first team, Chris? Nobody.
I'm totally with you.
Who? I would say now. I don't know what on First Take. If anybody would have said, well, who you removing from there for him?
Well, they did because Kendrick Perkins and all these guys are friends of the show, and our friends personally. But Kendrick Perkins, Rob, said that Jalen Brunson was the best player in the Eastern Conference this year, which and he didn't get a lot of pushback, or if any. Jay Williams pushed back a little bit. He didn't think he thought second team was where he should have been.
Right.
But Rob, I'm sorry, he wasn't better than Giannis. Giannis averaged these are Giannis's numbers, Rob. 30 points a game.
You could just stop there.
61% shooting.
You could stop right there, right?
I mean, in fairness, Jalen was like 28.7, so he's basically a point and a half behind him, 30.4, 28.7. But Giannis, Rob, also gave you 11.5 rebounds and 6.5 assists. He darn near equaled Jalen Brunson in assists. Jalen Brunson 6.7 assists, and obviously not as many rebounds, only 3. What are we doing? How are we saying he's better than Giannis this year? He wasn't. And I don't even think he was better than Jason Tatum. Now, some people say he had more help than Jason Tatum, but I think Jason Tatum could have put up those numbers if he's the show, right? And so I'm with you. I agree. In fact, my ballot, I think, is exactly like the first 2 teams. Those first 2 teams were exactly what was.
Was that your ballot?
I mean, that was, yeah. Now, third team, I didn't have Halliburton on it. I had Donovan Mitchell instead of him, but I think the rest was the same. But I'm with you. Look, second team for Jalen Brunson is phenomenal. And I just think it's prisoner of the moment, Rob, to say he should have been first.
I just can't see. I don't see who you're taking off of first team.
Tatum helped his team win 64 games.
They won 64 games, Chris. That's supposed to be nothing?
Right. And he's a better defender than Brunson. So what are we talking about? Better rebounder, all that. So here's the second part of my question for you, Rob, and this is a big one. So Jalen Brunson, who we know is underpaid, right? He is on a 4-year, $107 million deal. He's got 2 years.
He was overpaid by the Maverick standards. He was overpaid.
Right.
They
wouldn't give him 5 years, 55, right?
Right.
Can you imagine they could have had him for that?
Oh, God.
But he's got 2 years, $50 million left on his deal. And the last year is a player option. So he's really got 1 year left where he's locked in. He can sign, Rob, this summer with the Knicks, a 4-year, $156 million contract extension. Or he can wait until next summer, next offseason, and sign a 5-year, $270 million extension.
So what's the difference in the 2 years? What is it? I don't have my math hat
The
on.
first year, this year he can sign for 4 years, 156.
So it's over.
Next year is $120 or $114 million difference.
Yeah.
It's one extra year. So let's say he played, just hypothetically speaking, he signed a 4-year deal now, and then he plays a 5th year. You know, he gets another contract after that. I mean, it's probably by that time, Rob, it might be starting at $70 million. I mean, just real talk. You know, if he's a max guy, so he still would get, what would that be? About $220 million. You still talking about $30 million, and I'm just throwing that out there. Who knows? He might not get another max, but it's right now. It's like an extra year and and $14 million difference.
Well, I mean, this is what you need to do. I would wait, Chris, but I understand you want to strike when the iron's hot. What if you don't have the same kind of year? Julius Randle comes back. You know what I mean? And
right.
It's not
you go down to 23 and 6.
Right. Yeah, it might not be the same exact thing.
Yeah.
But 114 is a lot. If it was 50, maybe we could talk about it. I got to wait for the 114.
And he's already been underpaid.
Am I right? When you wait, I just got to wait. I gotta believe that people in New York, we've moved the needle. People love me in New York. They want me to be a part of this thing. And people will be mad at the fan base if they don't take care of me. Like, that's what I'm hoping.
Nah, I feel you. I'm going to throw out a few things, though. One, there's always, of course, injury. Now, in his 6-year career, Rob, he's played 70 or more games 3 times. So he hasn't been injury prone, but, you know, he's had some nicks here and there. And we all remember Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas had a year, not the legend Isaiah Thomas, but the one that played in Boston. Robbie had a year very similar, and some people might even argue better even than Jalen Brunson. Not the playoff run, but Rob, he was top 5 MVP voting, just like Isaiah Thomas. Just like Jalen Brunson. He led the Celtics to the Eastern Conference Finals, right? And Rob, it was a phenomenal year. I think he averaged 28 points that year. Rob, he got hurt. Do you know? Now, he was in line for a max or near max extension, right? Do you know that over the remainder of his career, which was 6 or 7 years, guess how much money he made total, Rob? Total. Now, he was going to get over $100 million contract, and that might be putting it gently. So he's going to get over $100 million contract, but because he got hurt, and over the last 6 or 7 years of his career, give me what you think he made in total.
I say he made $3 million.
Wow, you trumped me. I mean, that I'm shocked you went that low. No, he made $11 million.
Okay,
I know.
I was going way down because I know he lost a lot and trying to get back. Chris,
I mean, 11 don't sound bad compared to 3, but
3. No, but I know.
You know what I'm saying?
But
he was
I know
get
it was
about
rough.
100-something million,
right? To go down to 11, and then remember, 11,
over
Chris,
your career, not
right.
The remainder.
And 11 is 5.5 after Uncle Sam. You know what I mean?
Right. Great. Exactly.
That's 5.5.
Exactly. So he made like $6 million the year after he got hurt, and then from there on, Rob, it was like $2 million or 1 point something for the rest of his career. And so remember Andrew Bynum, Rob, in Philly? They wanted to give him like an $80 million extension. He waited, got hurt, never played again, and never got that money.
That's always the thing, Chris, and that is the danger in not striking while you're hot, not trying to take advantage of, you know what I mean? Like you just don't know what's going to happen, and a lot of things can happen.
I'll throw one more.
Dak got lucky. Remember that Dak got hurt going out there without a contract, and he got lucky.
I'll throw one more thing at you. You play for Tibbs. Now, in fairness to Tibbs, since in the 2 years Brunson's been there, he's only played 35 minutes a game in the regular season, but that's gone up to 40, Rob, in the playoffs. And we know, fair or not, Tibbs' reputation is that he runs guys into the ground. So that is all. Those are all the things I think you have to weigh, Rob, if you're Jalen Brunson. Okay. All of that said, if I were Jalen Brunson, I'm with you. I will wait. That is so much more money. And look, yes, he's set for life regardless.
But still, that's a lot.
That's a ton. And it's a good chance he doesn't get another max deal, Rob. I mean, he's a small player.
So many things could
happen.
He's
already 27. You know, like, is he going to be the same player or better, 5-6 years from now? So I would wait until next season, bet on myself, and go get the 5-year, $270 million extension. So it's a tough decision for him.